If you're still stuck thinking the 22 long rifle is just a backyard plinker for kids or something you grab to pop squirrels, you're living in the past, my friend. That little rimfire pill, the same one you probably ran through your granddad's old beat-up bolt action, has a lot more teeth than most shooters give it credit for. Today, we're going to zero in on the nastiest, hardest-hitting 22 long rifle loads, tearing through ballistic gel and turning varmints inside out across America in 2025. And don't expect a boring cookie-cutter ammo list that sounds like it was copied from a catalog. This isn't a sales pitch. This is a straight shooting breakdown of the rounds that have earned their place based on real-world results, reliability, and the kind of performance that matters when you're loading up with purpose. These are rimfire loads that punch way above their weight class. And when we get to number 3, trust me, you're going to see something wild. Let's run the bolt and get after it. CCI Stinger. We're kicking off with a round that's practically a celebrity in the rimfire world. The CCI Stinger has been the high-speed king of the 22 long rifle scene for decades. Walk into a gun shop and say high velocity, and 9 times out of 10, the guy behind the counter will say Stinger before you finish your sentence. This little screamer launches at roughly 1,640 feet per second, pushing a 32-grain copper-plated hollow point. Sure, it's light, but tell that to the rabbit that backflips when one of these hits center mass. At these speeds, velocity is the weapon, dumping energy violently on impact. Hit a gel block with a Stinger, and you'll see it open up like a pocket knife, snapping out fast, wide, and nasty, dumping nearly 200 foot-pounds of energy. For a rimfire, that's impressive. It's versatile, too, deadly in a Ruger 1022 for small game, or a little extra punch in a compact pistol when you need it. Self-defense with a 22 long rifle will always spark debate, but if you're going that route, you want a round that actually performs. The Stinger delivers, and don't expect it to be quiet. This isn't a soft subsonic. It's got a sharp crack that'll turn heads at an indoor range. Bottom line, the CCI Stinger is the sprinter of the rimfire game, lean, fast, and dangerous when it's moving. Ignore it, and you're missing out. Federal Punch. Next up, a round that doesn't care about flash. It's all about doing one job right. The Federal Punch is built specifically for self-defense in 22 long rifle pistols, especially those short barrel pocket guns like the Ruger LCP-2. You won't see big dramatic gel explosions here. Instead, you get a 29-grain flat nose slug in a nickel-plated case, designed for flawless feeding and deep, straight-line penetration. In ballistic gel, it consistently drives 12 to 16 inches, even through layers of clothing, without tumbling or veering off. Expansion in rimfire handguns is hit or miss. So Federal skipped the gamble and focused on penetration, first borrowing the philosophy of centerfire duty ammo and scaling it down for rimfire carry. Is it flashy? No. Is it Instagram worthy? Not even close. But if you're trusting a 22 to protect your life, the Punch is one of the few loads I'd actually put my name behind. It runs smooth, it feeds clean, and it skips the feeding problems you get with some hollow points. No fireworks in the gel block, just a round that gets the job done when it matters. Winchester Silvertip. All right, this is where things get crazy in a good way. Remember when I said number 3 would blow your mind? Yeah, here we are. The Winchester Silvertip 37-grain segmented hollow point is one of the most impressive little rimfires I've ever run. The first time I watched one hit a gel block, I had to replay the footage because I thought my camera glitched. Nope, what I saw was controlled chaos. The block tore open like a busted bag of soup. Most 22 long rifle hollow points just mushroom, flatten, or maybe tumble a little. Cute. But the Silvertip plays a different game. On impact, it shatters into 3 or 4 razor-edged fragments, each cutting its own wound path. It's basically a mini claymore mine, packed into a rimfire case, designed to wreck tissue from the inside without punching through into the next room. For close quarters defense, that's a huge plus. Even better, it's not finicky about the guns you run it in. I've shot it through my Ruger SR-22 and my old Smith & Wesson Victory with zero malfunctions. The aggressive tip looks mean, but it feeds like it's on rails. A lot of shooters still don't know it exists, but in 2025, it's getting more attention, thanks to viral gel test videos. One guy even called it the 22 that thinks it's a 410 slug. Over the top? Maybe. But after seeing it in action, I get it. This round earns its spot for being unique, unpredictable, and absolutely devastating. CCI Velocitor. Let's slow things down from the flashy, explosive stuff and talk about a rimfire load that wins on pure reliability. That's the CCI Velocitor, a 40-grain, copper-plated hollow point that doesn't try to be a speed demon or a featherweight. It leaves the muzzle at around 1,435 feet per second, which is quick enough for dependable expansion, but still carries the weight to punch deep. In real-world use, it's right in the Goldilocks zone. In ballistic gel, it'll run 12 to 14 inches of penetration and open into a textbook mushroom every time. I've used it on small game, and it's been lights out, no tracking wounded critters. No messy follow-up shots. Out of my Ruger 10-22, it prints tight little clusters, and in short-barreled pistols, it cycles without fuss. Something not every 40-grain rimfire can claim. It's not here for drama. No fragmentation, no fireworks. It's the steady friend you trust in the field, consistent, predictable, and ready whenever you pull it out of the ammo can. If you want a 22 long rifle, hollow point that just works, the Velocitor is your huckleberry. Norma Hunter, 22 power. Here's one most American shooters are still sleeping on. The Norma Hunter, 22 power. This 40-grain hollow point hails from Sweden, clocking in at about 1,260 feet per second. No, it's not trying to compete with the hypervelocity crowd instead. It's built for clean expansion, straight wound channels, and minimal meat loss on small game. If you like to keep what you shoot, you'll appreciate that. Norma's been building precision ammunition for decades, and you can feel it with every shot. Point of impact stays locked in. Recoil is identical round after round, and it's just as accurate from a bolt action as it is from a suppressed semi-auto. Feeding issues? Haven't had one, no matter the platform. At around 10 to 11 cents per round, it's a crazy value for the quality you're getting. I call it the quiet performer. It's not a social media star yet, but when more folks see the gel tests and field results, it'll go from hidden gem to must-have fast. Winchester Super X. Some ammo doesn't need hype, it just has a track record. The Winchester Super X 40-grain copper plated hollow point is one of those loads. It's been putting meat in the freezer and keeping pests in check for generations. With a muzzle speed of about 1,280 feet per second, it blends stability, accuracy, and expansion into one dependable package. I've used Super X on everything from raccoons to foxes, and the story's the same every time instant drops. It doesn't need to fragment or do Hollywood tricks in ballistic gel. It's built for real work in the field. Whether you're running it through a bolt action or a semi-auto, it shoots flat, groups tight, and feeds smooth. It's not flashy, and it doesn't care about viral gel tests. This is the seasoned ranch hand of rimfire ammo, all business, no gimmicks. And in today's world of over-marketed gear, that's a welcome change. Aguila Super Extra Hollow Point. Let's talk about a true budget workhorse, the Aguila Super Extra Hollow Point. You've seen it stacked high in bricks at the gun shop with a price tag that makes you look twice. Cheap rimfire usually means dirty powder and cycling headaches, right? Not here. Aguila is one of the biggest rimfire makers in the world, and their Super Extra line has a loyal following for a reason. The hollow point version, running 38 to 40 grains at around 1,250 feet per second, expands like ammo that costs twice as much. I've run thousands of rounds through everything old Marlin lever guns, suppressed Ruger pistols, and modern semi-autos, and it just works. Out of rifles, you get solid expansion. Out of pistols, it still does respectable damage. It cycles cleaner than you'd think at this price, and I've actually seen fewer duds than with some premium brands I won't name. It's not glamorous, but if you want something you can shoot all day without draining your wallet and still trust to do its job on pests or small game, Aguila shows up ready. Wrap up. That's 8 rimfire loads, making serious noise in 2025. If you've read this far, I appreciate you hanging in. Got a favorite 22 long rifle round I skipped? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. Stay safe, shoot straight, and I'll catch you on the next one.